Welcome to the Guide Life podcast by Whiskey Slews. This show is about the work, the hunts, and the real side of guiding. No filters, no fluff, just what it takes to build and run a hunting operation from the ground up. Every week we'll cover everything from land management to habitat work to the daily grind of guiding waterfowl, upland, and turkey hunts here in Nebraska. I'm Hunter Runge, CEO, guide, and the voice behind the blind. Welcome back. We are back with the Guide Life podcast. We are starting a new journey for our podcast, doing a little bit of rebranding. It's not fully official yet, but we are going to be doing a YouTube style TV show next year. It's going to be called The Guide Life. We're looking for 10 to 20 episodes, and it's going to really capture how the life we live, or what the life we live is, really, and tell everybody kind of the insides and outs, but then also showcase the hunts, the time of year, and really kind of cover everything. And kind of coinciding with that, we're going to have the Guide Life podcast hosted by us here at Whiskey Slews. I'm Hunter. I'm still going to be the host here. Sam and Joe are still with me. We'll always have Bob and Grant and Dakin and other people on the podcast as well. But we're kind of changing the format a little bit. The actual content of itself is not going to change, but we're going to be having some guests on. We just did an interview with our filmographer, Adam DeMarkey of Archer Film Company. That's going to be an episode coming, and we're going to kind of start talking about our favorite times of year and our the seasons that we hunt, and really what you can do in Nebraska in the 9 months that hunting season is open. So, it's kind of just when this podcast just kind of going to be us chilling. We're going to be relaxed. We're not here to, try to sell anything or try to get too serious, but we're just here to kind of talk about waterfowl and upland and turkey hunting and the stuff that we enjoy, and really why we do why we do what we do. And kind of to piggyback off that, this podcast is just kind of meant to tell even more of the stories, even more behind the scenes, a little bit more exclusivity, even more than the Guide Life show is going to have itself. And even before the Guide Life show starts running this summer, we're still going to be able to hopefully drop a bunch of episodes of kind of prep work and really just allow you guys to see what goes on in the day-to-day life here of us at Whiskey Slews in the summertime and during hunting season. So, man, let me tell you, I'm excited. It's just a whole different, vibe that we're going for. It's really kind of our next step in marketing our brand of Whiskey Slews, and really excited to be here. But Sam, we've been on a quite of a wild journey, man. We really have. And Joe, obviously, I know you joined the journey just a little bit later, but Sam, we wasn't too long ago that we weren't getting started. It
wasn't too long ago I was burning stuff and spraying stuff.
I mean, really
starting four-wheelers on fire and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this episode for this kind of pilot episode, we're going to really talk about kind of how this whole thing got started for anybody who doesn't know, and kind of some of that back end information. Then we'll be able to kind of get some different stories and a little bit of just entertainment from all three of us. But we all grew up hunting. I grew up hunting with my dad. I started pheasant hunting when I was very young. Then I got to go on some teal hunts and then duck hunts, and then we did goose hunting and snow geese, and everything really just started to grow really fast. And I don't remember when exactly I started being able to shoot, but there's pictures of me on my grandpa's back at 4 years old walking for pheasants, and tell you, it's just that kind of influence that you get from your family and that being brought up in that kind of a world. It's a great world to be in. The outdoors is such great exercise. It's great to be outside. It's also great to enjoy nature, but the fun that we have doing what we do is insane.
It doesn't matter about what else is going on in your life, all the stress, just the hustle bustle of life in general. It doesn't matter when you're out, hunting, fishing, doing whatever. It just completely takes away from it.
It does.
Completely. It dissociates you from all the craziness going on, and literally you're just one with the wild.
Yeah, there's, your morning hunts, even when you're by yourself or you're guiding, there's some level of peace that comes over you. When you guys really, when you're just getting out there to really enjoy it. It's just something different. And I say that a lot about a lot of things when it comes to guiding and working in Nebraska and waterfowl hunting here, but it really is. But Joe, didn't you kind of grew up hunting from Sam, right?
Yeah, Sam showed me how to hunt, basically.
Well, our whole story on hunting is completely different. I didn't grow up. I mean, we didn't grow up like my dad wasn't big into hunting or anything. Essentially, I mean, my mom's side of the family's big hunters, so that kind of got me into doing things. But they hunt big game and everything else. But no, literally got into it through some buddies, and ended up taking Joe and our dad on a teal hunt, and literally the rest is all history. I mean, Dad likes to go waterfowl hunting with us. We still get out with him, I don't know, 2 or 3 times a year at least, try to.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just important to us. It's a good time to just spend with each other. And
Definitely. And like, that's one of the things we really will, hopefully, we're never going to lose sight of. And we put a lot of emphasis to is family, close friends, close family. We don't miss those kind of days. We purposely set aside days in our calendar for family weekends and stuff like that. Because
I can tell you, too, that no one ever opposes one of us saying, hey, do you guys care if I go hunt with my dad? Or do you care if I go hunt with my uncle or go on this deer hunting trip for a couple days, whatever. No one's ever opposed to that unless like there's do or die things that need to be done. But like those facets are why we are all doing what we're doing in one shape or another.
Yeah. And I think, that's kind of what led to us starting Whiskey Slews is we all hunted together. We all took a lot of our friends hunting, a lot of people hunting, and a lot of friends of acquaintances, whatever. And man, it just kind of snowballed, really.
Yeah. No, I really did. I mean, it went from, like I think about the college and how we all met each other.
Yeah.
Now we're really kind of peeling into like how this really came to fruition, because we kind of give a little bit of our own personal backstories to getting into hunting. But like, I think about college and how we all kind of had like our separate groups that were waterfowl hunting. Like you and Justin were always hunting together. And then I had a group, and Grant was doing his own thing because he went to college elsewhere or whatever. But, and then just kind of crazy how it worked out when you're that crazy of a waterfowl hunter, and you're out scouting, you're putting in the time to get on good hunts. You're gonna run into other people that are the same way.
Thing, yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Like I met you guys through one of my buddies, and I don't know how did Grant meet you guys?
Same kind of concept. It was one of my buddies that I met that I had known from in some way. I don't even know really how I met the guy, but I knew the guy, and that guy was like, hey, I got a buddy, his name's Grant. He's got permission on this field, but we don't have enough decoys. Think you and Justin could come? And we were like, yeah, I'll bring my trailer. And we brought our trailer out, and we set up at this field over at Odessa. Got our ass kicked. That's pretty funny, but great bonding memory. Great start, And
yeah.
That's the whole thing, though, is like we just started taking people hunting, and next thing we kind of realized, well, we could make a life out of this. And after the opportunity to buy our river property came up, it was, history from there. It was, let's just do it. And we tried to do it part-time. We did it part-time for like a month, and we all looked at each other and went, man, we really can't half-ass this part-time. If we want to do this, this is all we need to do. And we did. And I mean, we all quit our jobs 2 months into starting the company and said, we're either going to make it or we ain't. And so far we've made it. But Joe, I wanted to ask you, Sam getting started in this whole thing, obviously you were a year after him when you graduated high school. You then came out. What was it like kind of getting to first hear about Sam starting this new venture and this new job and all this? And
it was interesting. I mean, it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't hunt like as much or doesn't hunt at all that you kill ducks for a living. So
yeah.
I mean, it was cool to see, but obviously it's really cool now that I get to be a part of it too. But yeah, that's kind of how I saw it.
That is one thing you hit on the head. Is this really hard to explain
Extremely
to people
hard.
what you do for
Holy
work?
You go to the family
shit.
for 4th of July, anything?
Oh my God.
What do you do?
It's still
I shoot ducks.
it's still like family members are always asking, you go to Christmas or Thanksgiving, whatever. And they're always just like, man, you just you just got it so made. You get to go hunt all the time, and which yes,
We do.
It's
do.
fun.
But they don't understand
It's
the
not
back
just
end.
hunting. I mean,
There's no
show them like one of those videos of you guys working on the trailer brake or trying to fix the trailer. Like show a video of that, or show a video of like all the decoys and stuff.
July morning cutting
cutting grass
cattails
and
and
cattails at 90
100%
degrees.
humidity and it's
Yeah.
90 yeah.
Show them those videos,
Yeah.
show them. Remember that one day that we were out at that Clay Center pit when we very first started our work there in that area. We were out there in that pond and we were cutting that stuff and we looked at each other and you and I both, I mean, you could have rang our t-shirts out.
Yeah.
But
No.
that's the beauty of it is we still do get to hunt all the time, and that makes the harder stuff worth it, I would say, for me at least. Like, and part of it's all part of the journey too. I mean, a lot of the groundwork, the blind work, the wetland work we do and stuff like that. Then we come October, November, we get to go hunt it.
Yep.
Really cool stuff. We didn't just, the whole thing is kind of coming together too with the people here. So we really haven't just built a business. We've really built a lifestyle. We've built a family here, and it's great. It's great to be able to have that kind of stuff. But like I said, this business, this industry, especially starting a business with all your friends, there are going to be growing pains that come with that. I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit before, but one of the bigger things is we didn't really, I guess we haven't really talked about it completely, but I was 20 years old when this whole thing started. I wasn't even 21, and I think you guys were all 22, right?
Yeah, a little
bit about 22.
22, 23.
We were all very, very young people. We still are, but we were very young, very inexperienced. We had no idea what any of this was going to be, and that led to a lot of better habit of it is drama. Not being able to keep up with one another or missing out on something or whatever it would be just of new business ownership. There was a lot of hurdles to go through that first year, but man, it just seems like as we keep going down in business, our business just gets smoother and smoother and smoother.
It's definitely a lot more well organized, and it gets way more well organized literally day by day. But like that first year because Grant was up in Canada for a little bit at the beginning when it was just
Us
me,
three.
you, and Bob
Holy shit.
running the show for our
gosh.
very first month.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, I remember we hired 2 part-time help. That was when we got Dakin. We hired James then to help us out because we were like, oh shit, we need help.
I tell you what, you very quickly will learn, especially if you're new and you're trying to do something like this, you will very quickly learn what it takes to do it successfully and consistently, because I remember looking at you guys going, time to lock in.
Yeah.
Like, we got to lock in.
Yeah. Well, and you know what, too? There was a lot of hidden things like land management, having the right decoys, the right blinds, the right dogs, having the weather and the clients. And there's so many factors that came to play. And my first biggest thing that came up was how much land we actually needed to have to do what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some guide services only have a few permanent leases. Some guide service day lease all the time. We had a lot of permanent and did a little bit of day leasing our first year. And we found ourselves that our permanent places did not produce. So we ended up paying permanently for a lot of places and then day leasing too.
Mm-hmm.
And we overspent that first year just based on because we were unprepared. That was one thing that we learned very quickly is we've got as a whole new hurdle of having the right land versus having a bunch of land. And I think we're year 4 now, going into year 4. Still figuring some of that out, to be honest with you. I think we're still looking to make sure we have the right property.
Mm-hmm. And it just builds year after year. A lot of these properties you're already rolling into the next year, and then you're just building as you go. And so it's every year it just looks brighter and brighter and brighter. And this year especially, because we're starting to implement our own planting, and we've been working on our slough for years now, and like you're definitely starting to see some major accomplishments in that kind of realm of land.
Yeah, and then like our first year, we had a weird year. Dealing with that is, oh, oh shit! I just sneezed my head off. That first year though, dealing with that weather, it was different. We got some early September rains, made for some interesting drives to get to the dove fields. You learned, okay, I need a side by side. We learned kind of very quickly what all we needed, but we kept finding ourselves in situations like, man, we need this decoy now, or now we need to have this motion, or so on and so forth. It's just like that first year, and even I will say, just in these, even recently, you just look at stuff and you're like, you find something and you're like, man, this is just great. Different methods of picking, decoys and new blinds or new styles of blinds or new motion. It's almost like this. The whole thing that I could say is you're still, you'll never really quit learning.
No, that's just hunting in general too, though. Like, whether you've been guiding 50 plus years or you're brand new, like,
You're gonna pick up things.
you're always like there's always going to be different patterns, and patterns shift and migrations shift, and always learning. To me, I don't call myself like a professional. I say like I'm like I got great knowledge of what's going on. I'm like in and out of the field. I put the time in, but like I don't consider like there being like an NFL of hunting. Like, I don't think that's a thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that there are people that are just willing to put in the time and effort. And even then, like, you're constantly learning.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I think about that very first permanent lease we signed. I just remember we leased a bunch of cornfields, and we thought in years past, these areas have always had birds. Paid a good amount of money for this lease. I don't think we hunted it one time. Did we? I don't think we did.
No.
You and your family hunted it one time. Hunted one of the cornfields one time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
We didn't.
yeah, they came out too late.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't get anything from that very first lease we ever signed. Paid a good amount of money for it too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a growing pain and a learning experience all in one, right then and there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No doubt. It's just, there's things that you just, like any job, you got to just be prepared for on the fly, but especially in hunting. And you're talking migratory birds on top of that, like, you better just be willing to go knock on some doors.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'll tell you, when you get into the industry the way that we have, it opens you up to so much knowledge, but there's also a lot of knowledge out there that doesn't necessarily, more of a wrong side of the preaching. It's like when we built this company, we built a lot of it on the idea of being able to do things different. We always do things different. That's how we like to say we do it for our clients, just different than other outfitters. Not saying what other outfitters do are wrong, because there's been plenty and hundreds of huge outfitters in this world. We're just trying to be a different version of outfitter. And I hope that we can kind of bring it back in, if that makes sense. And I'm hoping to use all this learning experiences and all this new areas and stuff like that to kind of tile this in. But I'll tell you what they don't show you. Our Instagram page, it's always going to be very professional. It's going to have high quality content, high quality reels. The Guide Life's going to have a little bit less of that. But then into this podcast, it's going to kind of be a lot of more of what they don't show you. Really tell you a lot about the stuff that we just don't normally post on our main social media, just because it's less relevant for the brand. But I know for like early season, mid season, especially when it's warm out, but once it gets cold, those like late night pairs, those scouting struggles, all of that, but just as the year goes on, they don't see the wear that does bring to us, especially in your guide life, but also in the personal life. Like, I can tell you guys, when we've had some trailers acting up or some stuff not working, man, that it does really amp up the stress, because at the end of the day, we want to push things the best we can to our clients.
The best way I can describe it, and if you ever done your research on guides, whether they're deer guides, elk guides, waterfowl guides, fishing guides, even. Like, no matter what, and everyone will tell you this, any guide will tell you this, you better absolutely love it with everything in you. Like not just like your weekend warrior or anything like that, or I take off work to hunt this much over the season. Like, you better love it with everything in you, because the amount of time, effort, things breaking on you, dealing with adversity, like, it's just nonstop.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
We were pretty lucky, but remember that trailer, that black trailer, when we broke that break all the way up north? We had to disconnect it and ride it back. And
That was me and Charlie, yeah.
You and Charlie.
Yeah.
Had the other trailer, Joe. That one trailer, the brake was locking up, and Joe was pulling it to go do something with it, and was like sliding the trailer around on him.
And we've had batteries break while we were trying to use them for motion, and I mean, trucks getting stuck. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, the adversity that we see is, it's almost wild.
Flat tires.
Oh,
Flat
yeah.
tires. Flat tires.
We
Bob.
probably had more flat tires this year than I've had, like, my entire family's probably had in the last 6 years. I mean, at our auto store that we go to, we are such a frequent flyer. Every time we walk in, the guy's like, "What'd you do this time? Welcome back," kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's things breaking or, the weather's been insanely warm and dry, and instead of what should be a couple 2-3 hour scout turns into a full day scout, and you're driving 500-600 miles in a day. Like, there's just things that no matter what, at the end of the day, we're going to get them done. If a trailer breaks, it better be fixed. If you can't find your hunt, well, go find a hunt.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it is.
And that's kind of what we're, this kind of content that we're doing here is really what we're hoping to do with the podcast. I mean, we might have a hunt that doesn't go as expected. We'll tell you guys about it. We might have some kind of tougher days. The thing is we're kind of about being real here, just kind of being able to unpack everything. And then, like I said, interviewing with, the guides, some of the people around us, occasionally even having some clients on would be cool. But, it's just going to be a different kind of vibe for us. I honestly too, it's for a way for us, like this podcast. The reason we do a lot of it is it's great for us too to just kind of sit back and unwind and just kind of shoot the shit a little bit and just have the microphone sitting here around us while we do it, if that makes sense. But it's gonna be fun. I tell you another thing. When we very first got started, that very first hunt that we guided. Say, you remember that?
Was it a dove hunt or what?
Teal hunt.
I don't know if I do.
We hunt. I thought it was a teal hunt. I'm pretty sure. I have a
Must not be that memorable.
No, because it was the dove hunt. That night on the dove hunt, we shot like 100. But
doves are fire.
I was looking for the teal hunt. I'm looking back at my phone records now. I know the client. I know we did a teal hunt. We had to have done it. We did it for sure. Did a teal hunt that day.
I just can't recall. It's been so long. So long.
I know what we did. We hunted that one place down, kind of that one farm pond. Remember where you have to drive the clients in? We drove them in on a 4-wheeler, and we set up A-frames. Josh was there. It was a teal hunt on the farm pond.
Not ringing a bell. It might have been Bob.
You go on a lot of hunts.
I got the 4-wheeler stuck in the mud that morning. Very first guided hunt ever. 4-wheeler got stuck.
I don't think I was there.
Really?
No.
I thought it was with you. It might have been with Bob. I don't know. Yeah, we shot like, I don't know. We had 6 clients. We shot like 18 teal or something, 22 teal. Wasn't a bad morning. But the dove hunt that night, we went out to Little Argentina, and we just fucking mollywhacked them, dude.
God dang, that property the first year. Just stupid.
probably
Joe, you
shot-
never got to witness that.
No, I've hunted that property before.
Oh, you have not hunted that property
Not
like
when
it was.
good, no.
If you thought any of our dove hunts were crazy, I'm telling you, when that place was at its prime, it was so stupid they were like gnats.
Jesus.
I love doves.
No, I
Mm.
couldn't believe it took me that long to remember that. But no, I know what we're talking about.
Oh, it was probably about 600 hunts ago. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, what was your hunt you first guided? What was your first one?
I
I
think
now
it's
I
a
know
dove
what
hunt, but I don't.
No, well, before
pretty
you
sure it
were
was a dove
before
hunt.
you were like officially working for the company, you came.
I
and
went on
helped
a
out with
snow goose hunt
in the
in the
fall.
fall.
And we torched them.
Did we?
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember that
You
hunt.
came out on like 2 of them where we burned them up pretty good,
Yeah, I
in
was
the
with
fall.
you and Bob.
and that was like some of the first snow goose hunting you've gotten to do.
Yeah, snow geese. Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun.
fall snow geese are really fun.
Oh, he went on the fall ones?
Yeah. I think I skipped. No, maybe I skipped school that day.
You skipped.
Or I
it in the
skipped school in
spring.
spring.
Yeah,
Did he go on a fall one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it was in the fall.
he helped me and Bob in that, winter wheat.
Shot like,
In the winter wheat,
yeah, when he just shot like fucking 80 of them.
we didn't shoot 80. We shot like 40 or something like that. It was-
Oh, it was that other hunt where they shot 80.
Yeah.
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 No, so yeah, no, it's I can't believe it was that hard to remember that very first hunt, but I guess we have been doing it
A lot of
a
hunting.
lot of days in the
A
blind.
lot of days logged.
Now, so if we're gonna have a few fun episodes coming, we're gonna be doing some dove seasons talk. That's gonna be a very soon episode. It might even be the next episode is dove and early teal. The last episode we just released of this right before the season, we talked a little bit about land management. Talked about that kind of like with the property, the stuff with the work that we're doing and all of that. I'm also going to be kind of jumping into a little bit of some behind the scenes action, getting some guests on, some industry partners, stuff like that. If you really are, though, if you like this podcast, subscribe, leave us a good review if you can, and share it on any social medias if you would. But make sure you follow us on socials. Send us any questions and stories. If there's something you guys are looking to hear, want us to talk about kind of in this world, or in this world of waterfowl, upland, turkey hunting, let us know. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys are the reason that our podcast is able to be here. And everyone listening and everyone that comes with us to book a hunt at Whiskey Sloughs is the reason we're able to do what we do every day. And I'll tell you what, the memories that we get to make from doing this is insane. I can't tell you, Sam, I don't even know how many client memories, how many stories that I've got
Oh
from
God.
clients.
It's a rabbit hole that we'll keep digging.
It's a rabbit hole that we'll tell a couple stories an episode and never run out of stories for the rest of our life.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes good, sometimes maybe,
Maybe
shit.
shit.
Yeah, but anyways, we appreciate everybody for listening to the podcast. We're really happy to have you guys here. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, anything like that, let us know. If you are interested in booking a hunt, please call Grant 308-224-7289. You can look us up on all social media at Whiskey Sloughs. Make sure you subscribe to the Whiskey Sloughs YouTube channel as well. Allows us to kind of show you guys what's going on. Then you'll be up to date from when we start releasing the Guide Life episodes. But for now, this is the Guide Life podcast by Whiskey Sloughs. I'm Hunter. Thanks for running with us, and have a good one.